Alright, so two things before we get started. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to strength training for parkour. There are so many different ways that you can build up strength and like different exercises you can do. So I'll be doing more videos in the future. These are just the basics of each exercise. Each of these can go really in depth, so if you plan on loading these with like a lot of weight, then you're going to want to look into more technique for them. And with that, let's get started. First exercise is barbell squats. So if you've never done barbell squats before, or back squats, or whatever you want to call them, this isn't just like the be-all end-all guide. This is just like 101. Like the first things that you should practice. So first and foremost, the bar should rest here along your traps. The bar shouldn't be supported by your hands. It's only there to make sure that it doesn't roll back off your back. And when you start to add weight to the bar, it will start to hurt a little bit, but over time you'll get like a callus on your back and you won't. Just don't be a bitch, honestly. And then once you get your bar in position, just remember three things. Don't let your knees fall in. Make sure that your knees are going over your toes, so you're not leaning forward like that. And try to keep your upper body as upright as possible. So you don't want to be doing that right there. You want to try to keep it up and try to stay looking forward, stay as upright as possible. Ankle mobility plays a huge role in how far down you can go without letting your back round. So if you find yourself not being able to go down because of your ankles, don't worry, I'll make a future video because I've had many ankle problems and I feel like I've come to a point where I'm happy with them now. And that's just kind of like the beginner things that you'd want to think about. But if you want to start adding a lot of weight to your squats and you want to continue developing your technique, there are so many more cues and like techniques that you have to think about. So if you want to dive a little deeper into that, I've linked a playlist from Juggernaut Training Systems, I think it is. They made the 5 pillars to squat technique, so I've linked that down below. Go ahead and watch those videos if you want to go a little deeper. Second exercise is Bulgarian split squats. They're probably the #1. I don't want to put money on this, but probably the best exercise for strides and running. It's also a lot safer than back squats because it doesn't involve your lower back as much, and you don't need like crazy ankle flexibility. All you're gonna do is set the top of your back foot onto a bench or something about knee height, and then set your front foot far enough ahead so that your shin is vertical. Your back knee should be a little bit behind you, and then just make sure that your front knee isn't falling in at all. It should always be over your toes. And that's honestly really it. It's not a super crazy exercise to start doing, but you can definitely load it up. So if just regular split squats are too easy for you, grab some dumbbells. You can do it with a barbell. It's just easier to do it with dumbbells. Don't use a barbell. This is a banger exercise, so you definitely want to add it in. And the third exercise, last, certainly not least, is taking impacts. It sounds like common sense, but common sense isn't always common practice. So you'll want to start at a reasonable height, about waist height, maybe a little bit lower if you want to get started. All you're gonna do is find a platform, a box or something, step off, and when you land, absorb the impact. Try to consciously think about activating your calves, your hamstrings, your quads, your glutes, the whole posterior chain when you absorb the impact and stand back up. And literally, just take impacts like that as repetitions. And then, as you get better, slowly take your height up to about chest height until you can take a drop from chest height with proper form and no pain. And with that, ba-bam! Here's a little workout. Improve upon it. If it's too easy for you, if it's too hard for you, just, mix and match, make it your own. Take a little screenshot and improve upon it. And just 2 more things before we finish here. #1, if you really care about this stuff, there's a super awesome article that I read. I'm going to link it down below, but the whole basis of it is the more force an athlete can absorb, the more power an athlete can produce. AKA, learning how to land, learning how to take landings is just as, if not more important, than learning how to take off or getting more power. And lastly, I'll be making more injury, recovery, and prevention videos in the future on more specific things like patellar tendonitis, recovering from ankle sprains, and all that good stuff. So Make sure to subscribe if you want to see more. And with that, thanks for watching.
Perfect. Who the hell do you think you are?
Until we get to the ideal height.
Ian! Oh my God!